Very quiet. Welcome, everybody. This is Gears of War Roster Mania Episode 3, live from the Bridgewater, New Jersey Microsoft Store. We are coming to you live here today. It was a great pleasure for Microsoft to be giving me this opportunity to do so. We are going to be talking about a couple of good things today. We're going to be talking about Ghost Gaming's new Fifth and rumors behind it. We're also going to be talking about Splice. Are they out of Gears of War? Or are they still staying in with the new roster changes and so forth? We're also going to be talking about Fable. They are the currently second-seeded Latin American team right now, but with the whole Splice situation going on and players being moved around, I have information on their new roster. To the date, it's not confirmed, but it's a credible source that told me about it. We're also going to be talking about Optic's new Fifth. Optic has been scrimming around with different players. At this point in time, they've been scrimming with Shock, Eternity, Firearm, and Rezik. Those are the 4 players I know as of right now. I know the one that is favored currently by the Optic roster, so we'll be speaking about that. And to wrap up the show, we'll be talking about Microsoft Gears info. The Microsoft here in Bridgewater has let me know certain information about a upcoming event in July, so you guys could get that first exclusive information here tonight. That way you guys can start setting up your teams and whatnot for a tournament that's going to be coming out here. So tonight we're going to start with Ghost Gaming. We're going to be speaking about their current situation and their current roster as of right now. I know Excels had been recently banned for this season, which would have been a great addition for that roster. Obviously, one of the best players in the game, one of the best leaders overall when it comes to Gears of War currently. He has been banned for the season. They also, not officially, but have been talking to Jay Ribs, who is one of our experienced veteran players and has been playing for years now, and obviously a proven champion. He has multiple championships under his belt, which is very hard to say, coming from multiple players. Me being a player myself, I come nowhere near to the success that Jay Ribs has had at this game. And to start off this topic, we're going to be bringing on Jordan, Jay Ribs, to speak about this, his hopefully new team. And, so let's start up with Jordan. Let me do some fixing around. All right. So, Jordan, do you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
How you doing, Jordan? How's everything?
Good, man. Just getting ready to do some scrims. Second day of scrimming with Ghost Gaming. Still working out some kinks.
Of course. You guys are in your beginning stages. Everyone knows how that goes. I know you guys. I have faith in that roster. I love the addition of you to that team. Obviously, you guys were looking to play with Excels, who like I said already, was a really great player, very skilled, very leadership role type player. Now that he has been banned for the season, very unfortunate news, something that nobody expected and something that I obviously took surprise to, being that I thought that roster would be definitely a top 2 caliber team. What do you think going forward? Who have you guys been playing with? If obviously, if you want to disclose that, and what do you think about the current situation with you guys?
Well, like I was telling you before we started the show, nothing's official, so I can't elaborate and say this is our official roster. But we have been streaming and scrimming on stream with Identiv and myself. So that should be the roster going forward, but nothing's official. No one has signed anything. We'll we'll see. We'll see going forward if if that's what's going to actually happen. But obviously, we wouldn't be wasting our time if wasn't what we wanted as a team.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I know that's always something hard to talk about and something to relate to when it comes to you guys. So as far as I know, obviously everybody knows. We've seen it that Identives has been screaming with you guys. Tell me a little bit about that situation. How is that going to work? With Splice and him being a player from the Latin American side and whatnot.
Well, honestly, as a player, it's not really up to me to try to iron out all the issues that comes with playing with an international player. I just get on, shoot my gun, and communicate. So going forward, I just hope everything works out smoothly. As for him being a player that obviously English isn't his first language, it hasn't really been a problem because he's such a great Gears of War player. He knows the basic callouts, and obviously he'll learn more as time goes forward. And he just knows how to play any role. I think he's definitely a treat to play with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, being that he's a possible fit for you guys, I love the idea. I love being able to bring over a Latin American player as himself. Obviously, if everything goes well, there's no assumptions. I do love the fact that you guys are scrimming with him. I know he's probably the best Latin American player. To me, he's probably a top 10 player, arguably a top 5 player. I know you said the language barrier. A lot of people talk about, which I've had conversations, with him personally and at events playing against him and whatnot. And I thought he spoke perfectly fine. So that's pretty interesting. I know everybody has questions about that and has been thinking, how exactly is this going to work? Now, if that were to happen, obviously not guaranteed and whatnot, is that going to be an issue? Is he going to be moving over here? Do you think? Is he going to be playing from Latin America? What is it that you think?
Yeah, my assumption would be him trying to move to the States. But as I said before, as a player, it's not really up to me
Mm-hmm.
to try to figure that out. The Ghost Gaming management does a really good job taking care of their players and accommodating them and just making sure they're only where he's getting on and playing and trying to be on time and be professional. But it's up to them. We'll see how Ghost Gaming handles it and the coalition.
Okay. Yeah. No, I noticed with Ghost Gaming, I know those guys are a really well organized team. I spoke to both of the owners at Las Vegas. They're very passionate about the game. They're very passionate about their team. That's something that you rarely see when it comes to organizations and when they attend events and whatnot. It's something completely different and out of this world. These guys were screaming at the top of their lungs at Las Vegas, and I think that's honestly an awesome feeling to have, especially when it comes to an org. Now, to move from this situation, tell me a little bit about Envious. What you can say, obviously, in regards to the roster move and with Envious leaving the game, that kind of led, to more orgs leaving. Obviously, they were the biggest ones to this day to leave Gears of War. But going forward, what do you think?
Well, the whole esports organization going into Gears of War, going into season two, it's definitely like a scary subject. Um, I wouldn't really compare Envious leaving the scene to E6 or leaving the scene because being a part of Team Envy, I know that they were happy with our play scenes and they're happy with our professionalism. And I know some of the orgs can't say the same about their team. And Envy did want to stay on board for season two, and the players didn't necessarily want to leave the org either. But when they just chose to play with Kyle, Kyle didn't want to leave Echo Fox, so it puts them in a situation where now do they have to leave Envy to join Echo Fox, or that was really their only other option, or go to look for another player to take my spot on the team. They wanted Kyle; they already had their mindset on Kyle. So now Envy, without their top two team, they're not gonna go and try to pick up a lesser team. So now they're almost forced to leave the scene. Echo Fox is now Team Envy, but at the same time, Echo Fox is the same type of organization as Team Envy. They're not gonna bring in the same viewership as Envy brought.
Yeah, no, that was a big surprise to everybody. Um, I know with Envious leaving, everyone kind of panicked a little bit, which obviously there's something that can be said in regards to them leaving. You guys know a little bit more. I'm sure it wasn't as profitable as they wanted it to be. I know, once they made that move with you being moved from that squad, everybody made a big deal about it. Obviously, everything you just explained about Kyle and the whole Echo Fox situation and the big buyouts. Obviously, everything is a business, especially in the esports world at this point. Regardless, you bounced back pretty well. You joined, well, not officially yet. Obviously, I keep saying that you are planning to play with Ghost Gaming and obviously sign with them, which was a big follow up. Now, in regards going forward, what do you think about the orgs that are currently in the game, or about orgs that want to come into the game? What advice can you give to those orgs or those players, trying to come into this game, and what the future is about Gears of War?
Well, the first thing first, they have to understand that the players are passionate. They may not be as professional as some other games, Counter Strike, League of Legends, whatever it may be, and that they have to understand that Gears of War is still a growing esport, and the fact that we do have dev support with the coalition, and we do have a long-standing competitive community of passionate players. Those are great things, but they still have to give us time, and if they're gonna try to invest in a Gears of War team, they have to expect that rosters are going to change. They do have to understand that some players are going to be less professional than others, and they have to let their players know that they want them to speak a certain way on Twitter and try to do interviews as best as they can. And it's definitely like I said, it's a growing esport, so it's not going to be as good as Call of Duty right off the bat, other console esports, and definitely as other PC esports.
Absolutely, which I agree with. People have to understand that Gears of War is still a growing game at this point. It's going to take a little bit. It's not going to be as successful and as big as Call of Duty has been. Call of Duty has been around. Call of Duty has always been successful. It's going to take Gears, I would say, at least a couple of years. I know this game has been doing good so far. We got a lot of big orgs that came into this game: Echo Fox, Envious, Optic Gaming. Obviously, we have some leaving, but with some leaving, you're going to get more that come back in. With the money that Microsoft is throwing at Gears of War currently, I feel like it's only going to get better and better as time progresses and whatnot. It's the job of the players and as the content creators to constantly put out more information, more content, to the general public and to organizations out there. Just because we're the first line of defense when it comes to building the name of Gears of War. Players like yourself do a great job at it. You're a very professional player. Obviously, I appreciate that you came on the show to talk about yourself, your situation currently, and about the org that you're looking to sign with and the team that you currently have. In general, though, that's pretty much all I have. I know we had a little bit of audio issues, guys. We were trying to work on it. I know Ribs has to scrim, so he promised me he'd come on here for about 10, 15 minutes. But going forward, Jordan, I wish you the best of luck. Thank you for coming on the show. Hopefully, when my audio gets a little bit better, I'll have more guests, and hopefully I would love to have you back on for a little bit more detailed information. I know this was kind of like a last-minute thing, but I just want to thank you for coming on.
No, of course, man. And honestly, there's a lot of questions I've been answering in my stream the last few days. I finally got my partnership, so I've been streaming a little bit more. And I think I've tried to turn my mic up a little bit. And I have a few more minutes, so I don't mind doing I tweeted out that I do a little Q&A. So I don't know if anyone in the chat has any questions they want to ask me. I could try to answer as best as possible. Or if you have any more questions, I could sit around for another 10 or 15 minutes.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, if you have any questions for Jordan's going to be sticking around. I know he was scrimming tonight. He actually got some time in between his scrims, and he decided to jump on the show for a little bit. If you guys have any questions you wanted to ask him, be sure to type it in the chat. He'll, try to answer it as quick as possible and as detailed as possible. Jordan, I know, with the whole situation of losing your fifth player after, you guys were talking about this being your roster going in, what was your first impression when you guys found out that Excels was being banned for the season?
Well, I did have a little bit of intel, and I knew that suspensions were coming out. And, right think any of the players that did get suspensions deserve the season. You know, Excels being the specific one definitely didn't deserve a whole season ban. I've also known Excels longer than anyone. Before I even started playing competitively in 2008, just playing like ranked Gears of War 1, I used to play with Excels way back then. So I know he's harmless, but I also do know that he can talk reckless. He's a loose cannon, and he does know how to say stuff to make people uncomfortable, to get personal. So it sucks, but the fact that he got a season ban definitely put us in a situation that we weren't expecting fully, and we just had to improvise.
Absolutely, yeah. I know nobody expected that. You guys obviously had intel ahead of time when it came into regards of him being banned. I know that was a big hit. Um, Regardless, you guys are obviously still in it. You guys have been screaming. I know you've been having different fifths and whatnot. That was a shocker to me, honestly. I didn't hear anything about that. I've never had an issue with Excels. I think Excels is a pretty laid-back guy from my experiences with him. I know I talked to a lot about him at Atlantic City. We spoke a bunch just because he played with Rezik, obviously one of my former teammates from Columbus. And, yeah, that was – I know we had a couple of questions that people had here. Let's start with the first one. They said, how did you improve mentally from TK to Envy to Ghost?
Well, honestly, TK wasn't the start of my road. If TK was the start of my road, then I'd definitely say that it was a lot of work. But honestly, TK was just me getting back into Gears of War because I took a break before Gears of War UE came out. But I started all the way back in Gears of War 2, and I won my first event. I had 2 championships in that game, and I won the first 2 events for Gears of War 3. And then once Gears of War 3 esports kind of died out and the community ran events weren't that profitable, I kind of took a break. I was working in New York City, working 2 jobs, and I started playing Super Smash Brothers competitively, which was actually very profitable for me. And then Gears of War UE came out, and I kind of missed the jump right off the bat. You know, teams like Denial and Envy back then were just better, and I ended up teaming with Fatal. We got TK as an org, which is a great org, and that was just the beginning of me coming back to Gears of War. And when Gears of War 4 came out, obviously I had to take it to another level with the $1 million circuit. So I just started putting all my time and effort into that.
Yeah, no, I know. I know you had mentioned Gears of War 2. That was the heyday for yourself and I. I remember you guys won that first event with the Hammer Burst. That was very controversial. I mean, you guys did work at that event. We ended up coming out of open bracket. I think we ended up finishing 8th or 9th place. That was actually your first championship win, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Gears of War 2, Meadowlands 09, it was my very first major event, and it was also my first championship win, yeah.
Yeah, that was. I don't think a lot of people remember that. I know Gears of War 2 was your game. Gears of War 3, you did really well. You played with Infinity. What did you win? Like 2 or 3 championships with Infinity, I think it was.
Yeah, it was just 2. We won Hyperstation 1 and
Okay.
Hyperstation 2.
Yeah, you guys were killing it. That roster was honestly very thrown together. You, T, you had Flames, and I think Supremos, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Which,
For was did you change? Oh no, you had Atmo too. God, I forgot about that.
yeah, Ammo Flames and Terror, myself.
Okay.
We never teamed with Supremo.
Oh, all right. For some reason, I got mistaken. I thought that was your roster. But yeah, so you've been successful in every single Gears of War. I mean, I would put you probably in the top 5 best overall Gears of War players in the history. Between you and Franchise are 2 big players that are still playing. That obviously have been playing for years now. Let me get another question. Do you think Optic will struggle without Icy during the first event?
I think right now, Optic, I've scrimmed against him playing with Shock, playing with Rezik. I think they're still going to be the team to beat. Um, with mental and explosives, Summons being like one of the best 1v1 players and playing his role so well, no matter who they pick up, they're still going to be the team to beat. Echo Fox is definitely up there with them, but Echo Fox has still been struggling a little bit. They still have a lot to learn and a lot of chemistry to build with Kyle.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know everyone's been talking about Optic just because, not like you said, like Icy's been suspended for the first event. I still see them, like you said, being obviously the number one threat compared to every other team. It all depends on who their fifth ends up being. I know I've been hearing a whole bunch of different things about, who they're going to be playing with. I know they were talking about Rezik, Shock, Firearm, and there was one more. I forget who it was. But in your opinion, who do you see playing as their permanent sub for the first event? Oh, Eternity too. Sorry, I forgot Eternity.
I don't know. They haven't really told anyone. They've been doing a good job of keeping it under wraps. And obviously, they're the only ones that know who they're really leaning towards. I think you might have more insight than me. I'm guessing it's between Rezik and Shock.
Correct. Yeah, I just wanted to get your opinion. I am going to be talking about that. I do have a little bit of insight in regards to that situation, so I wanted to leave that a little bit later about Optic. But yeah, I do see those four options are all good. Firearm, Shock, all those guys are good options for them. I think they're favoring one guy at this point. I'm going to leave that a little bit later for the show. But let me see if there's anything else. Did you think a roster change was needed for MV to beat Optic consistently, or would you have preferred to keep the same roster?
Obviously, it wasn't up to me to make the roster change. I do think we could have beat Optic with that roster. I don't know about consistently because Optic they're just ahead of the game as of now. That being said, I do understand why they made the team change. I'm not going to say Kyle's a better player than me, but he definitely brings a different dynamic to the team. And whenever you bring another player to a team, whenever you make a roster change, we call it the honeymoon phase, and that's when all the players try their best to make sure that roster works as best as it can. Not only the player that gets picked up, but the players that were already on the team. They do their best to play their role, to play as a good teammate, and to try to see what potential that team actually has. And the only way you can do that is by bringing your A game. And a team like Echo Fox and those type of players, when they do make a roster change, it's for a reason. And they're definitely going to do their best to try to make sure that they grow as a team going forward. And they're all definitely still good friends of mine, and there's no bad blood between myself and them, and not even Kyle. I think I'm a friend with Kyle as well. But they're going to be my opponents going forward, so I look forward to playing against them.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, everyone was excited to hear when you got moved, and how this rivalry is going to start. I think yourself and that team. Obviously that's not something that you guys do. I know you've never been a player like that. Kyle, of course, is a good player. I'm not going to take that away from him. Maybe in their eyes, a roster change was necessary. I don't think personally. I think you guys were doing fine. You guys were placing second. You won Mexico, which was awesome. I watched a couple of the last games. You guys played really well as a team. Yeah, you came in second, whatever it is, 4 or 5 times. No one's counting, you know what I mean? You guys were winning. You guys were coming in, day out, doing your thing. Like you said, will Echo Fox still be at a second-place caliber? Will they be able to come and beat Optic Gaming? I'm not sure. It's pretty much a similar roster to what you guys had. The only difference is, obviously you're not on there at this point. I still think you guys, your personal roster, if you guys are able to get who you have, I see you guys being a top 3 team or even being a first-place team. With that talent that you guys have, you have the experience, you have the veteranship in you, you have the leadership role that I think you can bring to this team, being that, they're all younger guys. They all have extremely amazing skill. Rushies to me is a top 5 player right now. Some people may disagree. Some people may agree. Sleepy, when he's on point, Sleepy is a very underrated player. I don't think Sleepy ever gets the credit that he deserves. Speedy, he's probably the best player, if not like maybe second or third best player behind, I can't even say. Speedy, I watched at Las Vegas. The guy brings so much passion and intensity to the game. I love watching him. He's an amazing power player. I don't know what he can't do in this game. So the fact that they're able to add somebody like you, like I said, with the veteran experience, you're obviously a champion. You've did extremely well this first season. I don't see why you guys wouldn't be able to overcome, their third place finish or whatever. I think they placed maybe top 6 at one time. I think with you and whoever the 5th addition is to the team, I really want to see you guys do well. I think they're a very entertaining team. Like I said, you, you bring a lot to that team in regards to, Speedy, Sleepy, Rushies. Sleepy, he's been around for a while now, but Rushies and Speedy are newer players, but obviously season one was amazing for them. Let me see another question. Ribs, do you feel like you have a lot to prove in season two, being that you were dropped and then picked up with Ghost Gaming, and how do you see your team doing in the first event?
I mean, we all have a lot to prove. Echo Fox still has a lot to prove. Like you said, we only won one event in that past season, and we got second place 4 times, 5 if you include the invitational. So yeah, we all, we're all still gunning to try to beat Optic. And do I think we'll do well in the first event? Of course, yeah. We still have a lot of kinks to work out. Like I said, the roster still isn't even official yet. But obviously, this roster is a contender. No one could deny that fact. That if we're all playing our game and we mesh as a team and we're actually playing as a strategy and not just running around trying to shoot, that we could definitely take on anyone.
Absolutely, I agree with that. I mean, we've touched on that already a couple of times now. But yeah, I feel like once you guys settle your roster and you kind of figure out, who's gonna be on the team, I think you guys would be perfectly fine. Now, one question I want to ask for everybody. There's rumors going around. Nothing's been confirmed. Nobody's ever told me, but I keep hearing things and people keep asking me if Identivs comes over to you guys, if you and him get picked up, obviously, and there aren't another 2 players picked up. I heard rumors that there might possibly be a team house in California. Now, you don't have to answer this. I'm just asking, just because I think that's an awesome idea. I know Ghost Gaming has, the funds to probably do it, especially since they built that mini arena for the team that went into Vegas. If you feel like touching on it, you can. I know you probably can't, but is there any information or ideas, or is that a completely false rumor? Anything about that?
No, a team house is definitely a great idea and something that the players want to do, but that's not official yet. You can't say a team house is official if the roster isn't even official yet. But I know teams like Optic want to do a team house. I know Echo Fox wants to boot camp a lot, and I think any organization coming into gear should definitely try to invest in having their players boot camp. Uh, that's one of the best ways to actually grow as a team.
Yeah, I know the team house is always a big thing. That's why I brought it up. A lot of people were talking about it, and I thought that would be an awesome idea. But like you said, which is true, being the fact that they don't even have a full roster, how can you even be talking about a team house? Even though the idea is awesome, I think a team house is absolutely amazing. I don't know, like you said, a lot of people are going to be boot camping. That'll probably be the first team house for Gears of War. But yeah, that's always something. That's why I brought it up, because you know what? If they were to do that, I think that'd be pretty sweet, and the content that you guys would be able to create in person, playing as a team at a certain location would be awesome. Another question that we have, Jordan, is what is the state/location you would like to see a tournament basically for season 2?
Um, I'd love a New York or California event. That'd be cool. I really enjoyed Mexico City, obviously, so any Latin America event would be awesome, if not multiple. I didn't mind going to Europe. London, Paris was a lot of fun for me, but at the same time, I know there's a lot of issues with the European scene right now. So I can see why if there aren't many European events for season 2. But definitely New York and somewhere in California, maybe San Fran or San Diego or something like that. LA.
Yeah, I think those are all big locations that I'm sure everybody would love to see. Like you said, California and New York would be awesome spots. I know we had tournaments in the past in New York at the Jacob Javits for WCG Nationals was pretty sweet. To be able to see something like that, I think would be huge. California, New York, LA, Chicago, one of the bigger cities. Dinosaur even said a season 2 at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. I know they're actually really big about esports. They've had a lot of CS:GO tournaments there. I think League of Legends at Barclays, even Madison Square Garden. They've been having more esports tournaments. If you were to play at a big, say, arena, sports arena, anything like that, what is the one place that you would love to play at? What is your dream venue or event in general? Look, it could be a location. Like I said, it could be like Madison Square Garden, for example, something like that. Yeah.
I grew up in New York. I lived in Manhattan. I lived in Brooklyn, not far from the Barclays Center. And when I say New York event, I think Jacob Javits Center because that's where WCG in 2009 was. And I know they have a lot of conventions, Comic Con, and they've had gaming events before. But Madison Square Garden would definitely be amazing, and not just have it there, but if it could be packed in there, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, I know Madison. I figured Madison Square Garden, like you said, you're a New York guy. I think that would be amazing. I've been in Jersey my whole life, worked in New York, and Madison Square Garden is awesome. I was just there for a UFC event last weekend, and that's something that I would love to see. Obviously, I think we're still in the baby, I guess you could say, levels right now when it comes to having an event there. But anything's possible. You know what I mean? A season 3, season 4, maybe along the line, something like that will happen. You know, I think Microsoft is putting plenty of money at the game. Obviously, I know a little bit of an insider, being that I am at the store, and I've been told it's looking good right now in terms of tournaments and funding and whatnot. It just all depends on the numbers on streams, the content that comes out. Obviously we got to keep everything squeaky clean as much as possible. But the money is there, the funding is there, the backing is there. So that's something always to look forward to, especially a player like yourself, going into this. Now, was there anything else that you wanted to speak on? I didn't get any more questions, so I wasn't sure if anybody had anything to say. Was there anything else that you wanted to say on closing terms or anything like that?
Not necessarily. I mean, I really wanted to let people know, like, the whole thing with Excel being suspended for a season, it definitely hits home with me because I was really looking forward to teaming with him, and I've known him longer than anyone else in the community, and it really sucks that he has to take that hit for a season, and I hope that he can continue to play, continue to stream, and hopefully be around for whatever's after season 2. And now I know myself and Team Ghost are just going to try to do our best to succeed in season 2 and do it for him because he was going to be a big part of that team.
Absolutely, which I agree. Regardless of what was said, what was anything, I really wanted to see Excels play with you guys. Like you said, he's a really good player. He's very talented. I think this would have been the team that he needed. There would have been enough structure between the 4 of you guys or 3 of you guys, whatever you want to call it. It is really tough. Maybe we'll see, a lesser suspension maybe down the road. I'm not too sure how serious it is when it comes to that. It is tough, to see something like that, especially season 2. We don't know what tournaments are going to be out, where they're going to be going, and a player like him with so much talent that's almost wasted at this point. And it's really unfortunate. I don't wish bad on anybody like that, especially missing a whole season. That's a first to me since I've been playing for 10 years. Yeah. Now, I think that's all we got for Jordan. Jordan, I appreciate you coming on the show. I know we were having some audio issues. I think it's on my end, so don't even worry about that. Like I said, guys, once I get a little bit more set up, this was kind of like a last-minute thing. We'll try to have Jordan back. Maybe we'll get another player from the team of Ghost. And hopefully next time I talk to you, Jordan, or I talk to anybody from that team, you guys are all set and ready to go. That's something I look forward to, especially a top 3 team. To me at this point, regardless of the 3rd or 4th player, whatever it is, I still think you guys have the caliber to be that team this coming season.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. And anytime, Gabe, honestly.
Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate it, bro. Enjoy your night, and thank you once again.
All right, bro, no problem.
Take care, man. All right, guys. So sorry and bear with me for those audio issues. I know it wasn't the best. I try to do what I can. Jordan kind of jumped on last minute to the show. I know it was hard to get the information out, but Jordan came on here and basically spoke about his current team situation. He is more than likely going to be playing with Ghost Gaming. Nothing is official as of right now. Nobody's been signed besides the 3 players, Rushy, Speedy, and Sleepy Time. They're still signed to the team. They are working on their 4th and 5th player, one of them being Jordan, and hopefully if it allows, maybe Idenavs will be up next. Obviously, it's a little bit more difficult with that situation, being that Idenavs is a Latin American player. I know he's obviously considered the Latin American region, but being that he may or may not be playing with Ghost Gaming, he more than likely will have to be moving to the United States, which will be pretty freaking sweet if you ask me. Um, that's something that I'm looking forward to, being that Idenov is such a good player, and being that that would be complete, change for him in life, especially at this point in time. But that would be something, we look forward to. Now, going forward, let's talk about Splice. So, Splice is more than likely going to lose Idenivs. It's not for certain. We're not too sure if he's going to be leaving for Ghost Gaming, but the fact is that he more than likely is going to leave them as Ghost Gaming picks him up, and if everything falls into place, which I think is something that he should really consider. Now, Splice is currently all over the place. I've been hearing multiple things about them in regards to the roster. I don't even think Splice themselves as an organization knows what's going on with everything that's been done and people being moved around. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit more insider information when it comes to that. But as always, I can't give you guys my sources because, when you give your sources, that's always an issue. But as of right now, say if Idenivs leaves, you're looking at Splice being Chaos and Dezo, along with possibly Legend, who was currently on Fable, now being switched over to Splice. Legend would be the third player on the Splice roster, as well as Sleefer. He's going to be the fourth player. Dinosaur just said it. That's your current Splice team right now. The only difference with that, Dinosaur, is that I hear Evolving is going to be moved, and that's not a move that they decided. That's a move that he might be deciding. Now, I don't think he's going to be playing with Splice going into Season 2. I could tell you that. I think Splice currently will be looking for one to replace Evolving. Now, Evolving is the player that's going to be going to Fable. It's not official, and it's not confirmed, but it's more than likely going to be what happens. If that move were to happen, Fable will be Adverse, who was formerly from Splice, Evolving, formerly from Splice, Rocher, formerly from Splice, Crack, and Crystallize. Now, that 5 are attending a LAN tournament in Mexico as a full squad. That is going to be your Fable roster. Now, if Splice were to dissolve, or if Splice were to leave the game, which is also something very, very possible, we could see Fable being the number 1 seeded team in Latin America and the best team in Latin America. Obviously, if Chaos and Dezo and Legend and Slifer don't pick up a 5th and continue playing, that's something we could see down the road, which is going to be tough for them to come back on, being that, Ideniv's their captain left, Evolving leaves and plays for Fable. The other issue with that move for Splice is that Legend was actually denied a visa twice. So if Legend can't attend an event, that means Splice will be out one. You know what I mean? So that is something to think about. That is obviously tough for Splice. Also, other inside information in regards to that, I don't even think Splice knows what's going on. I think Splice and that roster haven't been talking about it. And I think that's something that worries, the players, because, if an org hears that the whole team is going, bye-bye, it's obviously not something you want to list, you want to be dealing with as an organization. So will they continue sponsoring that team? Not too sure. Is that something that may happen eventually? Yes. I know I've been talking to certain people about the situation, and it's pretty detailed, confirmed information to the fact that Splice will be out of Evolving. It is unfortunate, but that is the current status. Like I said, Fable is sending that 5 to a LAN tournament in Mexico next month, and I think if they do well, that's obviously going to be your new roster. In regards to that, that obviously won't all happen unless, what's his name, Idenivs leaves the Splice. It does sound like it's probably going to happen, but as of right now, it's not confirmed. In regards to Ghost Gaming's fifth. I know we were talking to Jordan just now for anybody that missed it, but I know most of you guys were in here. Jordan says that, yes, they have been screaming with Identives. He does speak English. He doesn't have a language barrier or anything like that. Identives is more than likely will be their fifth. The only problem is the fact that they will be, it all depends on him and Splice. It all depends on him and being from a different region. You know what I mean? It's all hard to say as of right now. It's all premature. You don't want to assume things. I know they have been screaming with him. He also changed his gamer tag. Does that mean he's on the team? Yes, maybe. You don't know. Like I said, you don't want to assume. Would he be an awesome fit for the already Sleepy Time, Rushies, Speedy, and J-Ribs? Absolutely. I think Identives is, like I said before, a top 5 player in this game. He's absolutely talented. He's young. You could have this kid for years if esports blows up or Gears of War blows up. This guy is going to be playing at a top level. Like I said, he's playing with Rushies, who I consider a top 3 player in this game. He's very underrated. People say he's good, but I think the fact is that people don't really mean it or appreciate the skill that he brings to a team. He runs around and kills everything. You know what I mean? The guy is literally unstoppable. So moving on, we're going to be talking about Optic Gaming. So before I go into this, guys, I'm going to go ahead and tweet out Optic Gaming's fifth, but we'll talk about that in a couple of seconds. Let me just tweet this out. And their fifth situation. Talking about it right now. All right, guys, so Optic Gaming's fifth. They've been scrimming around with about 3 to 4 players. I could tell you all the names of these players. You have Eternity, who they played with for about a day or two. You have Rezik, who's also another pro player. You also have Shock from ALG Allegiance, obviously that dissolved. And you have Firearm, who played with Sovereignty at Las Vegas. Now, these guys are all great options. They're all extremely talented. They're all young players. They're all very devoted to the game. An opportunity like this to play with Optic is obviously probably the best opportunity ever and the best opportunity possible when it comes to, gaming, especially since they're at such a high level in this game right now. That's something that, anybody would want to do. But I've been told that they may have their set fifth for right now for the first event. In regards to that, I'm going to let you guys decide or tell me who you guys think of the 4 players, Eternity, Rezik, Shock, and Firearm. Who do you guys see as being their fifth? I know I had a player in mind. I know it's not the player I thought it was going to be. Like I said, it's not their permanent fifth. They haven't confirmed it, but I've had multiple sources tell me, that this player will probably end up being their fifth for the event. It's pretty good. I also heard conspiracies that this might be their permanent fifth. That I'm not too sure about. That's something that I would have to wait till it develops. I know they've been speaking about possibly replacing Icy just because of the fact that they were upset about, the certain things that happened and the things that were said and the fact that there was suspension dropped. There's always, that is not confirmed, obviously, but I heard that is something that might happen, that he might be replaced in general. Now, once I get a little bit more responses, I'll drop who I think the fifth player is going to be for Optic Gaming. Will it be for the first event? I think yes, absolutely. Will he replace Icy? I don't think so. I personally don't think they're going to replace Icy, but like I said, I've been hearing conspiracies that they might be replacing him just because of frustration and whatnot that's been going on. So will that happen? I don't know. Is it for sure that it's going to happen? I don't think anybody knows. So in regards to their fifth, who I think and more than likely will be their Optic Gaming's fifth for the first event, is going to be Shock. I think Shock is going to be the player. I've been told by a lot of people that Shock will be their fifth. Was that confirmed yet? No. Is it a credible source that told me? Yes. Shock is a very, very good player. He's very skilled. I've seen him play at multiple events. I think if they play with Shock, it'll definitely complement their already great teamwork. They're already great skilled team. What else can I say about Optic Gaming? Optic Gaming's Optic Gaming. Obviously, nobody could say anything about them. So I think Shock's going to play for that team. I know they haven't played with Firearm yet. I know Firearm's been, Firearm's been out there. Firearm's been playing really, really well. Firearm's obviously a New York player. He attends as many events as he can. He's a really good player. I think they were going to either scrim with him or they hadn't scrimmed with him yet. But I know that's something that we'll probably decide eventually who ends up playing for Optic. But like I said, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Shock, which that's not a bad idea whatsoever. I think Shock is really, really good. Will it be long-term? I don't know. Obviously, that would mean Icy being dropped. Was Icy going to get dropped? Absolutely not. Icy's a monster. He's one of the top slayers in the game. Extremely well, plays well. Plays extremely well under pressure. You know what I mean? So to go ahead and drop a big player like that is not necessarily the best idea. So being that that's going to be the case, Shock might permanently replace him, might not. Who knows? We can't really say. Obviously, everyone's going to be talking about that buzz for a while. Everyone wants to see Optic lose. We all know that Optic's a powerhouse right now. They win every Gears event besides Mexico. We just had Jordan on the show. Jordan beat them at Mexico. Maybe some people might think that was, just random that happened. Or maybe, Optic just fell off that event. Are they going to be the team to beat even with a sub? Absolutely. Even with Shock, even if it's Firearm, whoever it is, they're still going to be the team to beat in this game 100%. That's why everyone is interested to know who they pick up. Are they going to make a big announcement about it and whatnot? Probably not. It is Optic Gaming. They're going to want to keep it as quiet as possible, which I don't blame them. It is what it is. Will we find out publicly? Maybe not. But Reaper, thank you. Sorry to cut it out, but Reaper, thank you for coming in here. Appreciate it, buddy. Check out that mug. Sorry, I've been drinking out of it. I wanted to let you guys know that's my official mug that I had made from Vistaprint. Thank you. Now, let's talk about the Microsoft Gears info. So I wanted to bring you guys in here today to bring you some exclusive information. Now, this is literally exclusive. Nobody has any idea. Literally nobody has any idea besides Microsoft. Obviously, I'm here at the Microsoft event. Microsoft store, sorry. It's right there in the background. I am legit in the store. So I have some information on the first event that they're going to have. Now, this is probably going to be store-wide when it comes to the event. I'm not too sure if it is, but there is going to be an event. It's going to be in July. It's going to be on July 15th. I know at this store we're going to have an exclusive event. Events in general, sorry. I'm going to tweet out about it and let you guys know real quick right here, right now, if you guys stay tuned. Like I said, this is going to be the first event of many to come to Gears of War in general. Now, I need everybody to pay attention. I'm only going to say it once. I'm just kidding. I'll repeat it as much as I can. I'm just trying to tweet this out. But just to let you guys know, this is the first time you're going to hear about this. Now, I'm just tweeting it out, and then I will start up. Coming out now. Appreciate you guys for having patience with me today. Yes, I did set up over here at the Microsoft store in Bridgewater, New Jersey. I want to give them a big shout out for having me here. They're a great staff out here, always helping me, always, doing what they can to help me build, obviously, my fan base, to build, attention to the store. But I just tweeted out. If you guys could go and retweet my tweet, my latest tweet, sorry. I'm going to be talking about this in about 2 minutes or so, or I'm just going to let it build a little bit. If you guys have any questions throughout the show, let me know. I'm going to keep running for a little bit. But I need a girl. Jesus. Artsy is definitely a virgin. I need an e-girl with nudes available. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's try to keep that down to a little bit. You're very open. I like it. I like that status. It's awesome. I have you on the big screen too, which is even better. Like, you guys are being broadcasted to the whole store, which is great. Let me show you guys real quick. You guys are up there, which is awesome. The store's starting to slow down. We have some players out here, Ambush, Oplocks. Guys are out here enjoying me, just talking. Got Fragsies. We got a staff member here, Francis. Big help. This is their community specialist, gaming specialist out here at the store. Always here to help. Now, let's get back into the serious business. Jess, everything is good, Jess. I'm glad you jumped on stream and started talking. What's good, Retro? Appreciate you loving the show. But, yeah, so in regards to the Microsoft event, there's going to be a Microsoft event July 15th here at the Bridgewater, New Jersey Microsoft store. It's going to be from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. This is going to be a MLG-sanctioned tournament. It is going to be for MLG Pro Points. I'm assuming exclusive Pro Packs or whatever, esports packs, whatever you want to call it. This is the first announcement in regards to that. There hasn't been any information that's been put out. So just to let you guys know, that is the information. Now, with that being said, I know that should be a nationwide thing. I know July 15th should be the date for everybody. So just to let you guys know and to be aware, July 15th, more than likely going to be like 12 to 5 p.m., 1 to 7 p.m., whatever it is. That's going to be the first Coalition event in regards to Season 2. So that's something you guys should all think about, have your rosters being put together. I know I'm going to try to probably attend. I'm definitely going to attend the event. I don't know if I'm going to be playing. I hope I could play. If not, I'll probably stream live like this. I'll probably stream here with the camera. I'll probably be commentating again. We had over 100 people here at our location at the Bridgewater store, which was awesome. I got to commentate the whole time, which was pretty sweet. So, yeah, July 15th for everybody. Make sure you guys listen. That's going to be something to think about and to get your rosters together and whatnot. Like I said, is it like a small event or what? No, Sherlock Domes. This is a full event. No, that's a legit MLG event. That's going to be for, I'm not sure the exact locations, but I know Bridgewater, New Jersey location, the one I'm at currently, is going to be considered one of the top locations in regards to, the funding and whatnot that they get. So that's something for you guys to think about. Obviously, I would love to have more teams out here in New Jersey. We have our location here, which if you guys want to sign up, you could always DM me. You could always show up to the store. God Plays is in the stream. God Plays. I need to have you on the show. Once I get my audio set up, I need to have God Plays here. No, people don't have to buy tickets. Mishi, that's my mug. Nobody has to buy tickets. You guys just have to show up to the store. You got to register online. 7 stores? Okay. So, guys, there's only going to be 7 stores for the July 15th. Just to let you guys know, it's only 7 stores. And Bridgewater, New Jersey has been added to that list. So it's probably going to be New York. It's probably going to be Seattle. It's probably going to be, obviously, it's definitely going to be this store, which is great for us. So just know that there's going to be very little stores. So make sure you guys register online. I know they're going to put out a link to register for it, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, ladies, it's probably going to be LA as well. Obviously, LA's a big city, definitely. That's which is great. So make sure you guys start putting those teams together. I know this is a big opportunity and a great opportunity for players and teams to start maybe talking to different organizations, maybe talking to different sponsors. Since there's going to be so limited locations, maybe you could represent a team at one of these events. I know that's something I would love to do, represent a team, maybe even represent my own team, Raw Talent. I stopped competing, but at one of these locals, I'd absolutely play. Why not? It's fun. This man's sipping from his mug. Hey, I have something to drink in here. This is my mug. This is my Rostermania mug. It's the official Rostermania mug. Yes, July 15th is the official day. Definitely going to be here at Bridgewater, New Jersey. This is one of the official locations. If you guys have any questions while I'm talking, be sure to ask. I'm going to be running this for a little bit longer. I had over 150 viewers in here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Is there anything else that people want me to touch up on? Definitely always ask. I'm here to entertain you guys. Obviously, I'm trying to put out content. I got water in here. Don't try to play me. One thing I could say is the content creation. We need more content creation. Without this, we can't grow. I know Microsoft is really looking into Gears of War. This is the whole reason why I'm doing this show, trying to bring more light to the game, trying to talk professional to different players and whatnot. That's why I want to get my audio down so I can start having more guests, maybe have a co-host. That's also something I've been talking about. A co-host would be awesome to bring on the show. Even a special guest. I'm trying to have a special guest at every... Yo, Kay, don't try to play me, dog. You know us cops, we love our coffee. You know what I mean? What's going on here? Ban Icy, that's great. Is there any orgs that are new coming into the Gears? Yes, Jumpy, great question. Now, guys, new orgs coming into the scene. Like I said last week, I had tweeted, if I'm not mistaken, if you guys go to my Twitter, that's my Twitter on there if you guys want to go and follow me. I've been updating my list of sponsors and organizations. I already have a list of up to about 4 to 5 different organizations. That is something that we need to start building on. Organizations want to represent professional players. They want to see results. You know what I mean? It's not all just getting on and shooting your gun. You got to be professional inside and outside of the game. We have Excite Gaming. If you guys want to go follow them, that is ran by one of my good friends, Harrison. I'll go ahead and link you guys to his Twitter. Make sure you guys follow them. They are actually looking for a team going into Gears Season 2. I'm personally going to be consulting with them when it comes to picking up a team. I am looking for certain things, obviously. And, like I said, it's not all about just shooting your gun. These guys are a very professional organization. They're not just the only ones. We also have Impact Gaming, who's also looking for players. They had a team at Las Vegas. I think they ended up placing like top 12, top 16, something like that. I just put that in the stream as well. They're also another org looking for teams. We also have Illicit Gaming. I'll go ahead and put that on there for you guys. I'm trying to add everybody possible in here so you guys could get that information out. Obviously send an email to them, at them, talk to them. Like I said, it's all about your approach. These organizations want to represent professional players. You know what I mean? It's not all fun and games. Contracts are involved. They want them to be honored, as well as they should be. Contracts are no joke. Contracts are something that people need to start taking a little bit more serious when it comes to professional gaming. I know if you guys ever have any questions, if you ever feel like a contract may be off or vice versa, if organizations ever need help, they know I am here to help them any way possible. I know Bot Empire is, a big organization that I want to see come back to the game, whether it's on a bigger scale or a local land scale. Bot Empire is also an organization you guys could go and follow. I would love to see them come back to the game. They have a big following. Their jerseys are awesome. It's a freaking ninja. He's purple and black. Like, that ninja's amazing. They're also an org that I'll be working with closely in regards to bringing a team back to the game and to represent them. Now, I think I'm going to start wrapping up the show. It's been doing really well. I appreciate you guys coming out to watch, as always. Like I said, I'm sorry for the last minute J-Ribs, having him come up here on the show. I really wanted to be able to get a little bit better audio from him. He did have awesome responses and great questions that he answered in regards to Gears of War and himself personally when it came to Envious and whatnot. Envy, Vex. Oh, yeah, that's those are good orgs to talk about. Free God plays. NRG, Vex, and Swarm. I could see them coming back. NRG was a big organization with a lot of money and funding behind them, which is crazy. The fact that they left the game like we talked about that last episode, Energy left after, what was it, Columbus. Placing top 32 was insane. That's, obviously why they left the scene. Vex Gaming has always been around. Vex is a predominantly console organization, from what I have to say. I could see them coming back. Swarm ended. Bot Empire, thank you for that update. Swarm ended, so we obviously can't see them come back. But there's plenty of different organizations that are looking to jump into this game. They've obviously are waiting for Season 2 to be announced. There needs to be a little bit more dates and information put out before these organizations go and, step their foot into this game. Vex got screwed over. They're a little burnt out. That's true. I know Vex Gaming had a little bit of a rough time in regards to, rosters and contracts and whatnot. Vex Gaming has had a whole bunch of different teams and rosters in regards. But before I forget, I know Harrison is in here. Hit Armenia. Make sure you guys go and follow Height Gaming. They're going to be doing a Steam giveaway, $20 Steam gift card away. I'm going to probably go ahead and put that onto my Twitter. If you guys go follow them and follow me, you guys will be entered into, I think we're doing 3 Steam gift card giveaways in total. So make sure you guys go follow that last link I put on there. They're a great organization led by 2 great people that I know personally. Like I said, they're looking to get into the console gaming world. They have been in COD. They've been placing, pretty sure, top 16, top 32 every event. Make sure you guys follow them. Yokubano, I'm from Jersey. How did your first sponsor, did you ask local stores or what? I've had sponsors since I've been playing this game, since Gears of War 1. It's all about how you represent yourself, how you talk. I started this game when I was 15. I had a sponsor my first event. Like I said, it's all about how you talk. It's all about being professional and having respect for the person that's basically putting their money that they could be using to something else on you. You also have to just shoot for the stars. I emailed everybody, Doritos, Arizona Ice Tea, anybody. It doesn't matter. You really just got to put yourself out there. Do you get a lot of good free agents hitting you up and a lot of them teams off of your page? Yeah, we've been doing a whole bunch of different free agents and we've been adding them to a Google Doc. There is so many different players right now in regards to, free agents for Gears of War Season 2. If you guys can, let me give you guys a link for one of my moderators. She actually has a Google Doc that she's adding all the free agents and, doing a really good job at trying to help everybody find a team for Season 2. Just because if we could get all those people on a team, it, would be huge. We'd have probably like over 200 different players on the list at this point. So make sure you guys go and do that. Peter Parker from... Thank you. Peter Parker, baby. Yo, Spider-Man comes out this weekend, by the way. That shit is going to be crazy. Super good. Now, like I said, guys, we're winding down. I'm going to get ready to get off here. Thank you guys for coming out and watching. Make sure you follow the stream. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. We will be live next week, Thursday, once again, more than likely at 9 p.m. from my home location, unless I get a different offer to host somewhere else. But, again, thank you guys. Thank you for coming out. Make sure you follow myself and Height Gaming for the giveaways. They're going to be giving away those 3 Steam gift cards out, so make sure you guys do that. And again, thank you everybody for coming and have a good night.